Today, we're diving into something that is a massive, massive frustration for just about anyone who's looked for a job recently. It's that feeling, you know the one, where your application just seems to vanish into a complete black hole. I mean, you spend hours, right? You're tailoring your resume, you're writing that perfect cover letter, you finally hit submit, and then crickets. Just silence. Not even a no thank you. Just nothing. It's honestly a uniquely modern and kind of soul-crushing experience.
Well, if you felt like you've just been shouting into the void, I'm here to tell you, you are not imagining things. The data completely backs you up. The problem? It might not be you or your resume. It might be the job posting itself.
And that gets to the heart of it. What if I told you that a huge chunk, maybe even close to half, of those jobs you're applying to aren't even real? That is the shocking reality we're going to unpack today. We are pulling back the curtain on this thing called ghost jobs, and trust me, the numbers are pretty staggering. Okay, so first, let's set the stage with this huge contradiction, this paradox that's happening in our economy right now. Because on one hand, if you look at the official numbers, they paint a picture of just tons of opportunity out there, right? According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, as of October 2024, there were 7.7 million job openings in the country. Now, that sounds incredible. It sounds like a super hot market. But for millions and millions of job seekers, it feels absolutely ice cold. So, what is going on here? And this is where the whole concept of the ghost job comes into play. Because it's not just a feeling you have. No, it's a real, measurable, and pretty well-documented trend. So let's be super clear about what we're talking about. A ghost job isn't just a position that's, taking a while to fill. No. It's a posting where there is no genuine immediate plan to actually hire someone for that role. It could be for a job that's already been filled, maybe one that doesn't even have a budget approved, or it could be there for a totally different reason altogether. Now, check this out. This data from Revelio Labs, it shows something pretty wild. They track what they call the hire-to-posting ratio, which basically just asks how many of these job ads actually lead to a person getting hired. And look, back in 2018, it was pretty good. Nearly 8 out of 10 postings led to a new job. But just look at that drop. By 2024, it's plummeted to just 4 out of 10. Think about that. That means today, the majority of job ads you see do not end with someone getting hired. And it's not just one study pointing to this. Greenhouse, which is a huge hiring software company, found that about 1 in 5 of its listings were ghosts. Then, a resume builder survey asked hiring managers, and over a third of them said their companies post these things. So when you put all the research together, a pretty safe estimate is that a quarter to a third of all the job listings you see out there are basically phantom. Okay, so that leads us to the billion-dollar question, right? Why? Why on earth would companies do this? Why waste their time? And more importantly, why waste your time? Well, as you might guess, the reasons are often pretty cynical and very strategic. This survey of hiring managers is just incredibly revealing. Look at the top reasons. They're not even really about hiring. It's about keeping the company's name out there or just testing out different job descriptions. But the really shocking one is that 35% of managers admitted they post fake jobs just to make their current employees feel replaceable. Yeah, it's a tactic. It creates this illusion that there's a line of people waiting out the door, which, might boost productivity or make you think twice before asking for that raise. So the big takeaway here is that the whole purpose of a job ad has completely changed. It's not just about recruitment anymore. Nope. It's become this multi-purpose tool for marketing, for gathering market intelligence, and even for managing a company's own workforce. But here's the thing. Companies aren't just doing this in a bubble. The entire system, the job boards themselves, the LinkedIns and Indeeds of the world, they're actually built in a way that encourages this kind of behavior. Just think about it for a second. Back in the day with newspaper ads, every single day a job ad was in the paper. It cost the company real money. That forced them to be disciplined. You only posted real jobs, and you took them down fast. But today, with these unlimited digital subscriptions, the cost to just leave a posting up forever is basically zero. The financial penalty for being lazy or even deceptive has totally disappeared. And this is what creates something the research calls the activity illusion.
See, job boards make their money when companies pay to post listings, to get clicks, to look at resumes. They profit from the volume of activity, not from the quality of the outcome. Whether you actually get hired or not, that is completely irrelevant to their business model. Their incentive is to get as many listings as possible, not to create successful hires. So we've got companies posting these fakes, and we've got platforms making money from it. But what's the actual cost? Who ends up paying the price for this whole illusion? Well, the answer, of course, is you, the job seeker. I mean, this quote from the president of Greenhouse, a company that's right in the middle of the hiring industry, it just says it all, doesn't it? The whole process has churned into this psychological nightmare for applicants. It's filled with anxiety, and it's just destroying trust in the entire system. And we can actually put a number on it. We can quantify that cost. Based on how many ghost jobs are out there, the average applicant can waste up to 55 hours applying for jobs that either don't exist or will never be filled. 55 hours. That's more than a full work week of your life, gone, spent on a phantom search during a single job hunt. Okay, I know, this all sounds incredibly bleak, but knowledge is power. Now that we actually understand the problem, we can start talking about how you can protect yourself and, more importantly, your time. So here are some of the key red flags you need to be watching for. Is the job description super vague and generic? Has the posting been up for more than a month? Real jobs usually fill a lot faster than that. Does the company have like dozens of really similar vague listings? That's often a sign they're just collecting resumes, not actually hiring. And you got to be really wary of that phrase, "we're always hiring." A lot of times that's just code for, "we're not hiring now, but we'll take your resume just in case." So what can you actually do? Well, first, try to prioritize listings that are verified by the platform, if they have that option. Do a quick search on a site like Glassdoor, see if other people are complaining about the company's hiring process, and go beyond the job board. Look up the person who's supposed to be the hiring manager on LinkedIn. Are they actively posting about growing their team? And finally, you might want to try some direct outreach. Sometimes the best way to get around that black hole is to just bypass it completely. And that really leaves us with this final thought. In this online economy that rewards clicks and engagement and just the appearance of activity over actual real-world results, it forces us to ask a really tough question. If the job seeker's time is the fuel that runs the platform, but the company's subscription fee is the revenue, who is the platform really serving?